How to create Hungarian sentences as a beginner. Are you curious about the answer? In this video, I will provide you with a short response, as well as a longer one with explanations and examples. Let's jump right in. Here is my conscious response. If you want to start communicating in Hungarian, you need to learn a multitude of new words. This includes hundreds of nouns, name of things, numerous verbs, action words, doing words, being words, and a substantial number of high-frequency words, words that we use frequently. Here is my extended version. If you are entirely new to the language, this is my initial advice. Immerse yourself in the language before you attempt to utter any words in your target language. Consider how children experience language. They listen to their mother tongue for 9 months in the womb, and then spend an additional year and some extra months before they willingly articulate any words at all. As a new learner, you will undergo a similar developmental phase, known as the silent phase, during which you will unconsciously observe the intricacies of the new language. Your mind will continuously draw comparisons with your mother tongue. Initially, your brain will compare the vowel system to your native language. It may identify vowels that sound familiar, but it will also discover new ones that differ from your mother tongue. Many students have noted that Hungarian seems to have more open vowels compared to their native languages. A similar process will occur with consonants as well. How can you immerse yourself in your new language? Start by listening to and watching as many media resources as possible that offer insights into the context of the conversations. Typically, materials designed for younger audiences make excellent starting points, especially if they include visual cues like subtitles. As you progress, transition to materials intended for older audiences. Sing along to numerous songs in your target language. Watch the news with subtitles on your device and begin reading newspaper articles as well. This multifaceted approach will enhance your language learning experience. When you start feeling exhausted from the constant mental stimulation, it's essential to take a break. Find a comfortable place to sit or lie down. Close your eyes and embrace silence. Avoid speaking or listening to anything during this time. According to brain research, these peaceful moments provide your brain with an opportunity to replay everything you've heard and seen, helping you better retain the new information you've encountered. As a beginner, it is advisable to begin your language learning journey by focusing on nouns, as this aligns with how your brain naturally acquires a new language. However, the choice of which nouns to learn first can vary depending on your age, life circumstances, and personal objectives. For children, it's ideal to start with vocabulary that relates to their everyday life, such as words commonly used in nursery or school. This approach provides a solid foundation for their language development. Adults, on the other hand, should select their initial nouns based on their specific goals. For instance, if you plan to travel to Hungary as a tourist, learning nouns related to travel, food, and common tourist destination would be beneficial. If your aim is to study in Hungary, focus on nouns relevant to your field of study and daily life as a student. The rule of six. The rule of six is a valuable concept to remember when trying to learn and retain new information, including vocabulary words. Research suggests that when humans attempt to memorize a list of random items, they typically retain only about 6 or 7 out of 10 items. This information is important for language learners because it highlights the limitations of our memory capacity. If your goal is to expand your vocabulary and you plan to learn 10 new words, it's crucial to acknowledge that you may automatically forget 3 or 4 of them. To make your language learning experience more effective and less frustrating, consider creating word lists with only 6 new words at a time. Single word sentences. Single word sentences can be incredibly useful for new language learners, especially in situations where you have an urgent need to communicate but have limited language proficiency. It's reassuring to know that in real life people often resort to using single words to convey essential messages. You might have already encountered sentences like útlevél, útleveleket, or vonaljegyek, vonaljegyeket, which mean passport, passport please, and bus tickets please, respectively. So don't be discouraged if you find yourself using or hearing single word sentences in your language learning journey. They can be quite effective in everyday communication. Using single word sentences in new language not only serves as practical communication tool, but also provides valuable insight into essential aspects of the language like melody, melody shape, melody contour, and intonation. For instance, take the word taxi. The way you pronounce it can convey different meanings. If you say taxi, taxi with a floating contour, it typically indicates that you are trying to stop a taxi, signaling your intention to catch one. On the other hand, if you say taxi, taxi, taxi with a rising contour, it suggests you are asking the people around you for information on where to find a taxi. This demonstrates how intonation and melody play a crucial role in conveying intentions and nuances in a language, making it an important aspect of language learning and communication. Using verbs in communication allows you to construct two-word phrases and sentences. The realm of verbs is indeed intricate, and mastering this complexity takes time. As a beginner, your primary focus should be on learning the various forms of the present tense. Children often start by learning the third person singular form first, which is in English he or she, in Hungarian ő, followed by the first person singular form, which is I, én in Hungarian. However, adults tend to find it enjoyable to begin with the infinitive form, pairing it with some nouns. For example, mutatni útlevél, to show your passport, which will gradually evolve into more complex forms like mutatni útlevelet by adding a suffix, an accusative suffix to the noun. Mutatni útlevelem by adding a possessive suffix. Mutatni útlevelemet, adding an accusative, a possessive suffix to the noun. Mutatni az útlevelemet, adding a high frequency word. Megmutatni az útlevelemet, adding a verb prefix. Or megmutatom az útlevelemet, adding a first person singular verb suffix, creating the correct verb form. This progression illustrates how language learners can gradually build their proficiency and fluency by starting with simpler forms and gradually advancing to more complex expressions. High-frequency words. High-frequency words are essential for constructing meaningful and straightforward sentences in a language. Learning approximately 100 or 200 of these words can significantly improve your ability to communicate effectively. Let's take a look at some examples. Menetjegy, meaning bus pass. Ez menetjegy. You may say, ez a menetjegy. Or you may say, ez egy menetjegy. Or ez itt egy menetjegy. Or itt van egy menetjegy. If you enjoyed this learning, give us a like or subscribe. Thank you for watching.